Hello, and welcome to another episode of Brodie's Bedtime with me, Brodie's dad, and my special friend here, Toronto.
Hello, Brodie. So, Dad, what are we going to be talking about? What's that scarf on?
Well, this is your daddy's Tottenham Hotspur scarf, because your daddy's very, very excited, because last Wednesday, Tottenham won their semi-final against Ajax, which is a football team from Amsterdam, and they're going all the way to the Champions League final.
Oh, that's exciting. What's that?
Well, it's a football competition played between all of the best clubs in Europe, all the best football clubs in Europe. And your daddy's team, Tottenham, have made the final for the first time ever.
Oh, that's very exciting. Well done.
Well, I didn't really do much. I just sort of wore a scarf and got very emotional.
Who are they going to be playing?
They're going to be playing another English team, actually. They're going to be playing Liverpool, who also made the final last year. But they lost to Real Madrid. But there's no shame in losing a European Cup final to Real Madrid. Anyway, we're going to do football in another episode, possibly closer to the final. Sadly, your daddy's going to be at a wedding during that final, which is just typical, but it's in Leeds City Centre, so I think I'm going to sneak off for a couple of hours and watch it. Might determine my mood. But today, we're going to continue our sporting episodes, and we're going to talk about cricket.
What?
Cricket.
What's that?
Well, it's a great game. It's an old-fashioned English game, which requires a team of 11 men, and you either bat or you field. Obviously, the whole team does both. And if you're batting, you're trying to score as many runs as possible. You see, the opposing bowler will bowl the ball at you. You will then attempt to hit the ball with your bat, and then you run between two stumps as many times as you can before the other team get the ball back to you or them or to the stumps. But the real thing I wanted to talk about cricket was something called the Ashes, which is a great...
Do we play cricket in Canada?
Huh?
Do we play cricket in Canada? I've never heard of it.
I'm not sure it's such a big thing over there, although I do know the first ever international cricket match took place between the United States and Canada.
Oh, really? Who won?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that.
You should do more research. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. But yeah, the first ever international game was between the USA and Canada. But these days, the most famous and popular international rivalry is between England and Australia.
Ooh.
Yes, and when they play, they compete for what's called the Ashes, which is the name of the tournament when England play Australia, and they play test matches, which is a form of cricket which can last anything up to 5 days. And England and Australia play 5 test matches. So it takes up most of the summer. And whoever's won the most matches at the end, bearing in mind you can draw them, wins and takes home the Ashes. And it's played about every year and a half to 2.5 years. So they'll play in England in one summer, and then they'll wait for a bit, and then England will go to Australia and play during their summer, which is during the English winter. So we have to watch or listen to it during the winter time, and very late at night or early in the morning. And one of your daddy's earliest and favourite Ashes memories, I say earliest, favourite Ashes memories is I was up with Brodie one night when he was very, very tiny, because when at that age you need to feed them in the middle of the night.
Ooh, that sounds exhausting.
Well, it's all right. Obviously I don't live with Brodie or near Brodie, so it was nice bit of time spent with my son in the wee hours. Anyway, this one particular time we were listening to the Ashes, you and me, Brodie, and England got humiliated last time. The Aussies thrashed them 5-0, won all 5 matches. So obviously after Australia won the 3rd match, that was it. Australia had won it. And as that happened, exactly as that happened, your daddy looked down and you were throwing up all over him. You were sick all over your daddy, but just at the moment, England lost the Ashes. So I was very proud of you for that. I'm sure it was done on purpose. But yes, that's cricket and the rivalry between England and Australia.
Why is it called the Ashes?
I think it's because traditionally back in Victorian times, when England and Australia started playing cricket against each other, Australia was still part of the British Empire, and these colonial Australians were supposed to turn up and lose gracefully, and England would win. Anyway, one terrible time, Australia came to England and beat the English. And I think a British newspaper the next day said something along the lines of English cricket has just died, the body will be burnt, and the ashes will be taken back to Australia. And since then, the name stuck, so they compete for the Ashes. One of the greatest Ashes memories your dad has is of the 2005 Ashes series, where quite a young England team beat Australia for the first time in a long time. Like throughout the 90s, Australia had a wonderful, wonderful cricket team who were virtually indestructible. So you see on the front there, that's Michael Vaughan. He was the England captain that did it. He's from Yorkshire, which is where your daddy lives. And then back there, you could just see a very happy-looking Andrew Freddie Flintoff, who your Auntie Rachel mentioned in her episode 2 or 3 episodes back. You can also see Kevin Peterson on there, who played for England, even though he's South African. I don't think any of these chaps play for England anymore. So it was a long time ago, 2005, but it was very, very, very exciting. Cricket can be very exciting. It does sometimes require a little patience, though, which your daddy has. Anyway, maybe you'll like cricket. Where do you live? Staffordshire. I don't know if Staffordshire have a cricket team. You're quite near Worcester. They've got quite a good team sometimes, I think. I don't really follow county cricket. Anyway, that's cricket. Next week, I'm coming to see you. Well, I normally follow up by saying, so I'm not going to do an episode, but I don't do an episode a lot of weeks at the moment because your daddy's useless, and he's sorry about that. But, I think this is episode 42, maybe 43. So we're doing all right. Anyway, we'll say good night. Your daddy loves you very much and cannot wait to come and see you on Monday. We'll take you out for a spot of lunch, and maybe Mummy and Daddy will take you to soft play. Or maybe go to Cannock Chase if the weather's nice, yes. It's got an old abandoned RAF base.
Maybe you should do an episode on the RAF.
Maybe I should do an episode on the RAF. Oh, and one quick thing before I finish. Here's a video of a frog. Good night, Brodie. Bye. Is it still going? So I'm just out here at Gigi's and I'm helping her clear her pond. And there's a froggy. And he seems quite happy to let your daddy film him for a bit. Now don't try and pick him up. In fact, there's 2 froggies. There's another one just there. You see him? Just there. And one just there. I think